Good morning, children. We already finished the chapter cell. The next chapter we are going to start is tissue. As we already discussed, the cell is the structural and functional unit of living beings. Or easily we can say the cell, all the living things are made up of cell. So the cell is the structural and functional unit of life. Cell is the smallest unit of living organism. The group of cells form the tissue. It means the tissue is a combination of cell. Tissue is a group of cells that perform a specific function. Each tissue has a specific function. The plant tissues are different and the animals tissues are different. So first we are going to start the plant tissues. The plant tissues plant tissue. On the basis of function, or we can say on the basis of divisibility, they are categorized into two groups. The first one is meristematic tissue or meristem The second one is a permanent tissue. Meristematic tissues and permanent tissue. The meristematic tissues are those tissues which have the ability to divide. The dividing tissues are called meristematic tissues. If they lost the ability to divide, or we can say later when they stop dividing, they form the permanent tissues. So the first difference is they have the ability to divide, they lost the ability to divide. They lost ability to divide. On the position of location, on the basis of location, the meristematic tissues are of two types. The first one is apical meristem. The apical word means apex or tips. The tissue which are found at the apex or the tip of root and shoot are called apical meristem. For example, as we see in the plant, the new flower, the new leaf are grown at the tip of shoot and root. These tissues are apical meristem. They increase the length of the plant. They are responsible to increase the length of the plant. The first one is the apical meristem. The second one is the lateral meristem. Lateral side. Lateral meristem. They also called cambium. They increase the diameter of the plant. They increase the diameter of the plants. They increase the girth of the plant, and they are found below the bark. They are lateral meristem or cambium. They increase the diameter of the plant. So these are the meristematic tissues. Now the permanent tissue. The permanent tissues, we already told they are the non-dividing tissues. The meristematic tissues mature and form the permanent tissue. The permanent tissues are of three types: protective, supportive, and conductive. Protective means they provide the protection to the all parts of the plant. They are present at the outer covering of the plant. They are found on the stem, leaf, root. The outer covering is made up of epidermis. So the epidermis is the outer covering of the plant. It is found all parts of the plant. The second one is cuticle. The cuticle is waxy coat, the waterproof covering found in the leaf, surface of leaf above the epidermis. The epidermis secrete the cuticle. And the third one is cork cell that are found in the stem. So these three are the protective tissue. The supportive, the name is described as they provide the support to the plants. They are of three kinds. Number one, parenchyma. Number two, collenchyma. Number three, sclerenchyma. Parenchyma, they are the thin walled cell found in the soft part of the plant. The collenchyma are thick walled and thick walled, the thickening at the corner. The corners are thick. The sclerenchyma, the thick wall and the thickening all around the surface. All the surface of the cell is thickened. They are thin walled, thick walled, thick walled. They are living cell, and they are made up of non-living cell. The parenchyma is found in the cortex, the part of the stem, the part of the plant below the epidermis is called cortex. The cortex is made up of parenchymatous cells, and it is also found in the center of the plant. Center of the stem or root is called pith. It means the cortex and pith are made up of parenchymatous tissue. The collenchyma, as I told, they are thick walled and the thickening at the corner. And the sclerenchyma, the thickening at the all around. All the wall is thick wall. The collenchyma is found in the leaf stalk. The leaf stalk is called petiole, and below the epidermis. Below epidermis is collenchyma. And the sclerenchyma, as I told, they are made up of non-living cells. Their wall is thick wall all around the surface. The sclerenchyma is found in the stem and vein of the leaves. The fibers that we get from the plant, jute and other fibers, and the gritty mass of pulp of the pear, that is made up of sclerenchyma. It is found in the cortex and pith, thin wall. It is found in the petiole of the leaf, the stalk of the leaf and below epidermis. They are found in the stem and leaves. Vein of the leaves. The vein of the leaves means these are the veins. So sclerenchyma is found there. Protective tissue. And the third one is conductive, that is xylem and phloem. The xylem and phloem are called conducting tissues, and combinedly both are called vascular tissue. They are called, also known as, combinedly they form vascular tissues, conducting tissues or complex tissues. The xylem conduct water and minerals from root to the upper part. The phloem conduct food from leaf to different parts of the plant. For example, this is the leaf where the food is prepared. The food is carried to the upward and downward. It means all direction need. In all direction the food is reached through the phloem. Now we discuss the conducting tissues. Before describing the conducting tissues, first we discuss the characteristic feature of the meristematic, that we now discuss the meristematic tissues characteristics. Feature. They are cubical in shape, small in size, tightly packed, tightly packed means no intercellular space between them. They have ability to divide nucleus large, vacuoles absent, and when they mature, they form the permanent tissue. So these are the features of characteristics of meristematic tissues. Cells are cubical, small size, no intercellular space. They have ability to divide, nucleus large, vacuole absent, and when they lose the ability to divide, they form the permanent tissues. Now we discuss the detail about the conducting tissues or vascular tissues. It means the xylem and phloem. Now the components of xylem, we discuss detail about them. As we know, the xylem is made up of trachees, vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. Trachees, vessels and fibers. These are made up of non-living cells. The parenchyma is the only living cells of the xylem. The trachees and vessels both are water conducting tissues. Both are water conducting tissue. In the plants, the xylem is formed every year in the dicot plant. The old xylem does not conduct water. The old xylem does not conduct water. It forms the wood. That is, wood is nothing. It is the xylem only. So these are the differences between the trachees and vessel. The trachees and vessel both are non-living tissues and both are lignified. Lignified, the deposition or the lignin is deposited there. they are tapering. Tapering means narrow at the end, close to each other. Their wall is very thick. The lumen means the space in the middle. For example, we have seen the gel pen refill and the ball pen refill. The lumen of the gel pen is wide and the normal refill is ball pen refill is narrow. The space in the center is called lumen. So lumen narrow because the deposition is more in the trachees. In the vessels, the deposition is less, so the lumen is wider. They are tapering end, close to each other, very thick wall, lumen narrow, helping conduction of water. Conduction of water, this side. The connection is like this. They move upward, water is move upward, sideward, upward, sideward, and like this. The vessels, they are the tube-like, pipe-like, long, and their end wall, for example, one vessel is there, one vessel is there, one vessel is there. When we attach the long pipe, the pieces are joined together, and their end wall, this wall has perforated, the pores are there. So the continuous flow of the water and minerals along that. So the end wall, this is the end wall, it has the perforation or pores in it. The walls are less thick. The lumen is wider. Both help in conduction of water. The xylem parenchyma living cells, they help in conduction and their main function is storage of food. Their main function is storage of food. The fibers, the xylem fibers, they provide the strength to the plant. They connect trachees with the vessels. They are nothing but they are the made up of sclerenchymatous cell that are we discuss in the simple tissue, supportive tissues, dead cells, sclerenchyma. So they connect trachees with the vessels. They provide strength to the plant parts. So these are the components: trachees, vessels, xylem parenchyma, xylem fibers. The trachees, vessel and fibers are the non-living part of the xylem. Non-living cells of the xylem. Parenchyma is the living, only the living cells of the xylem. The main function of xylem, transport water that is absorbed from soil to the upward direction. The movement of water in the plant is called ascent of sap. So learn all the components, the function of each component, and read the chapter. Find out any difficulty or problem which you have in it. Thank you.